Right, the SU-33 flanker. Um, you're watching me currently do a mission, a little test mission. I've thrown together one of many test missions, landing, takeoffs, combat, etc., air-to-air refuel, of the new SU-33 flanker that's currently hit open beta with the new PFM model. Nothing externally and internally has changed much. Cockpit's still the same. Avionics have been changed a little bit, but generally it'll fight and feel kind of like the same aircraft as before, just with without wonky physics and with some new features added. So the new avionics are a mixed bag. I like some of them. I don't like others. What I absolutely adore is the auto throttle mode. It's awesome. What I don't really like is the UVOD ground avoidance mode, which is advertised as allowing safe nape of the earth flying, and I don't know if this is buggy and not responding correctly, or if Eagle Dynamics just didn't use the right nomenclature, because it'll shoot you up to about 1,000 meters radar altitude and stay there. This is not nape of the earth, in case you haven't noticed. So yeah, I really like the new PFM. It flies amazing. This is the current war emergency power, which I believe is also new, which gives you about 107-ish% thrust at full afterburner, and guzzles about 100 kilograms of fuel every 5 seconds, so keep that in mind. RWR, heads down display, radar, etc. has not been changed. They're still the same. The weapons are still the same. As you know, the SU-33 has been extensively modified for carrier ops, so you can see the hinge for the folding wings, and it has 2 additional pylons on the wings, meaning you can carry a full flanker loadout plus ECM pods, which you see on the wingtips over here. This does not mean you can carry additional ETs. This only carries 2 ETs per wing, and only 3 of the pylons, the outboardmost ones, are wired for IR weapons, which kind of blows, but it's the way it is. So you can carry either 6 R-73s or 2 ETs and 4 R-73s on the wingtips, or 4 R-73s plus the ECM pods, or what I'm currently carrying, 2 ETs, 2 R-73s, and the ECM pods. So, the auto throttle, as I've said, is incredibly amazing. The controls for it are over here. This is the button to activate it, and underneath there is you step up, step down. There's the button activated. And no, you can't click it. No clicky cockpits for flaming cliffs. This is step up, step down. This basically allows you to change up the speed in little tiny increments. These little tiny increments allow you to easily hold speed with the tanker, or hold your airspeed at or during landings. And this is incredibly useful, especially for a carrier plane, because you can fully concentrate on your stick movements and not have to worry about your throttle as much. Especially with the new carrier autopilot, which is activated by just using, believe it was Control R, that extends the boom and puts you into the tanker autopilot. Sorry, I think I said carrier autopilot, tanker autopilot, which stiffens the controls somewhat, so they are less actuated and it's less twitchy. And yeah, he's gonna dodge that missile because Doppler radar on his flanker. But the new autopilot shows you the speed of the tanker in single kph, and shows your speed in single kph digits. So it doesn't go like 320, 330. No, it shows you exactly what your speed is, true airspeed. And you can step it up and down in single kph increments, which makes holding formation with the tanker incredibly easy, especially with the dampened controls from the autopilot, which automatically holds level flight So making tiny adjustments is easy. It's not hands-off, as I have noticed. It's not like completely hands-free. You still have to hold the stick in a certain position in order to hold position with the tanker. But it's incredibly more accurate, and from trying air-to-air refuel with the Mirage and failing to do so, this being the first aircraft that I've tried air-to-air refuel and succeeded in, so that speaks to its simpleness. A noob like me can totally air-to-air refuel with it. Am I gonna get in here? Yeah, there we go. And boom. Mission successful. Which means I can now get back into the cockpit because there's bugs in the track if I don't look at him when he's yeah, you see it here. It activated the helmet mounted sight mode. And if I didn't look at him so that the controls on the track can automatically lock him, he won't fire weapons. The guy would get on my 6 and shoot me down, which is just Eagle Dynamics being Eagle Dynamics, I guess. And the track ended for some reason. The track is not supposed to end, which completely fucks up my video now. Fuck. Alright, and I am back. After restarting the track and fast forwarding through the position, I am now on course to the carrier. Probably gonna have to cut this together, damn it. But yes, the auto throttle is amazing, makes landings super easy. Air-to-air refuel super easy. Probably also formation flying if you're not used to it. The autopilots have been overhauled to some extent. They now operate much different. Or a little bit different. You can still use the typical Flaming Cliffs autopilots like hold altitude, hold attitude, hold this, that, which are all accessed through the Alt 1 through 9, I believe, buttons. Left Alt plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And they still generally work the same way. They will hold whatever flight characteristics they're meant for. The addition is the autopilot for air-to-air refuel, which will automatically activate as soon as you extend the boom. And if you extend it, you cannot retract it. You will go to position, you will tank, you will fill up your tank, you will disconnect, and you will leave, and you will wonder why you can't remove your boom, why you can't pull it in again. This is easy. The system will only allow you to retract the boom, and will in fact automatically do so, as soon as the fuel lines are drained in it. Some sort of safety feature, I guess. So don't worry. You activate it, you tank up, you press the button again to get out of the autopilot mode and have hands on your stick again. Which I say isn't completely hands-free. But you'll have full control over your plane again. And then you just wait. And it'll automatically retract the boom eventually. Don't panic. This is normal. So as I'm approaching the carrier here, I'll show you proper landings. As proper as I can. I'm not a super pro, but this was one of the better landings that I did. First time I tried landing this thing, I had to bolter like 4 times. So, and it always was because my angle of attack was not steep enough. So I always came in too high, so I pushed the nose down before impacting the carrier deck, and that made the hook jump over the cables. And the model then went like through the cables, but I know what is supposed to have happened there. The physics are more accurately modeled. The cable will stop your plane violently and then pull you back a bit. Stamp on the brakes or apply full throttle, as you should, to prevent this, because otherwise it'll stand you on your ass eventually and you'll stand on your engines, and then you may damage your engines. You can't taxi, And if, if for some reason your nose ends up over the edge of the carrier deck, good luck. You won't be able to stand back up without falling off the carrier deck. So stamp on the brakes as soon as you hit the deck, or apply full throttle, either way. You should totally do that anyway. Speaking of brakes, there's two wheel brake modes. There is the standard wheel toe brake, which goes to about 110 kilograms per square centimeter of pressure. This is not enough to spool up the engines to full 100% RPM or even afterburner. They will stop working. And I'm just checking if because this does not look right. I think I still broke the track. If I broke, oh no, never mind. Yeah, never mind, he's trying. Yeah, this is a track, this is a recording, again, don't worry. They're just buggy. If something happens where I don't think it'll do the landing automatically, so I can talk over it and explain things, I will just do it myself. It's probably gonna fail, or whatever, because talking in video gaming is not good. Yeah, going into landing mode. And where was I? God damn it, these unscripted videos. So yeah, the UVOT ground avoidance mode is bad. The auto throttle is awesome. The roar emergency power is good, very good for takeoffs, makes it a little bit easier. And if you know how to use the avionics in the SU-27, SU-33, and Russian aircraft in general, then the carrier landings are super easy. I'll explain a bit as it goes on here. The auto throttle basically holds whatever speed you tell it. Like when you activate it, it'll hold that speed that you're currently holding, and it'll try as best as possible to hold it. And you can step it up and down as you wish, as I explained. So as I'm approaching, I'm trying to find the glide slope. This is relatively easy. You make these two bars, the horizontal and the vertical one, form a crosshair with the dot in the center of the aircraft being right in the middle. Like that's the point they have to intersect. This will tell you exactly where you need to put your controls. So basically I'm too low and a little bit to the right. Now I'm exactly the height I should be, but still too far right. Now I'm too low. Now I'm too... so on. You get the drill. Yeah, they don't light up, so this actually makes it harder to see them. I'll probably deactivate... yeah, there we go. The lighting. And this is the HUD symbology. In landing mode, this gives the range to the carrier, 3.2 kilometers, I believe. If I activate this, yeah, 5.8, 5.7, it's accurate. And this is a glide slope indicator in the middle. The small circle needs to be in the center of the big circle. It is relatively unintuitive to chase the ball. I don't exactly know what these mean. I'm not an expert. I don't know if they're analog to the American ones or not. And I always use this to find glide slope. It's way more interpretive, easier, intuitive. Just put this cross in the middle and stay there. And as you can see, the auto throttle is currently activated. The light is on. And you can see the throttle automatically moving a little bit to hold speed. Not as drastic as it used to. I'm coming up 290 is a little bit fast, but I already know what happens, and I'll stick the landing as a pro. I even catch the third wire, so. The PFM is incredibly detailed. I love the plane. The SU-33 is incredibly stable in turns because of its canards. Yep. This is what I mean. It'll pull you back a bit. And as you can see that was the 3-wire, I believe. It's the one you should catch. And as you can see, it doesn't taxi like the fucking carousel anymore. It doesn't spin around like crazy. Actually, somewhat follows the noise wheel. Taxis much better. Yeah. In fact, it taxis just like the 27, with the addition of the wheel brake start mode being an important factor in getting this bitch off the ground. This is the second starting position that I was the third starting position that I was talking about. The long one, which is for heavy loads, 31 tons. On a stationary carrier, mind you, if this carrier would be moving and going ahead, and there was a headwind, you could take off with higher speeds, obviously. So I'm not going to do a very good job at parking this, but as you can see, you can roll incredibly close to the edge of the deck and still turn around. Turning circle is very tight, tighter than on the normal flanker, I believe, because of high gain nose wheel steering. What's also been added is the differential brakes, differential wheel brake axis. So yeah, this was a somewhat first look of the SU-33 PFM upgrade. I believe I've missed some details, because this was an unscripted video. I've done some combat in it. It's still good. The 27ER is still as bad as ever, so don't expect super wonders from it. But you can carry 2 more of them, so you can spam ram your way to victory eventually and make all enemies go defensive. And then kill them with an ET, like normal. So, yeah, the sounds have also been redone. A little bit. Not much. Yeah, and a friend was complaining that, oh, it looks so weird when they go full flaps down, when they fold up, and I'm like, well, they have to, because he didn't see that the tailplane would otherwise impact the yeah. So it is definitely, if you don't own it, it's maybe worth the $15. If you already own Flaming Cliffs, you got this for free, so why not? If you can, check out the open beta, get an early look in it. It's compatible with Stable, so don't worry, you can join multiplayer servers. But if not, it'll probably come in a future update pretty soon. Don't know if the U-vote mode gets fixed, because why advertise it as a nape of the earth flying mode if it doesn't hold nape of the earth flying and instead just flies you at a safe altitude? That seems counterproductive. So yeah. Another thing that I've noticed is that on multiplayer servers you have to activate the nose wheel steering now, which, I don't know, it used to be on by default. But that's it. That's my first impressions, and see you in the air.